Okay, so I was gonna show you guys how to do broth the other day and I never got around to it, but it's super easy. This is just the bones left over from a rotisserie chicken. And then I usually just save the bones if we have a rotisserie chicken, or this is actually from our turkey that we had for Thanksgiving, and I put them in a bag and just freeze them until I'm ready to make it. And so I'm gonna show you how I make it real quick. So I will just fill up the pot with my bones and then put water in, and I put about probably a quarter cup of, this is white vinegar, and what that does is that I'm gonna let it sit for about an hour. Holy cow. I'm gonna let it sit for about an hour before I do anything with it, because the vinegar will help leach more nutrients out of the bones. Okay, so after the vinegar has been sitting for an hour, I put it on the stove and I let it boil up pretty good, and then I'll skim all of this foam off and just put it in a bowl and throw it away. And then once you get most of that, you're going to add in a few onions and some garlic, and then you can turn down the heat and let it roll to a slow boil. Whoa. Once you've got all your veggies in there, I just cover it with a lid and I turn it down to medium low. Depends on your stove, but I just want it to barely be simmering, and I let it simmer for anywhere between 12 and 24 hours, usually closer to 12. This has been going since last night, so I just turned it off. I'm gonna let it cool and then I'll strain all the bones out of it. This is some broth that I've already strained all the bones out of and everything. I am just gonna take off this layer of fat, and then I'm going to divide this up into individual baggies. I like to put them in 2-cup baggies. Stick them in the freezer till I'm ready to use them for soup or whatever. So now I've got 16 cups worth of delicious and nutritious bone broth, and I like to get these Ziploc bags because they stay waterproof, and I will just lay them in my fridge, or sorry, in my freezer just like this, and they'll freeze flat. And then you've got yourself some soup base.